Oh, okay, there we go.
All right. So let me start off by um I don't want this to seem like it's like it might seem like it's a huge like a therapy session. I don't mean it to be that way, but I'm going to be explaining a lot of my personal experiences to hopefully tie in to some questions I'm gonna ask at the end. And do I seem well? There's a huge like glare. I'm not sure if my camera's very potatoy, but oh, you
It's
can see it
fine.
now.
It's fine.
All right, all right. So I don't even know where do I begin. Yeah, man, this is gonna be hard. Um, so all right, I guess let's start somewhere. Should I start with my current problems or in the past? I don't know. Listen, I'll start here. All right. So I have been having problems with seems depression. And this started all the way back in 2020, I believe, like around Christmas. It
Okay.
started with just apathy, it seemed. It's just one day I woke up and I felt this huge indifference, you know. I did not want to do anything, did not want to engage with what I usually like, my passions, did not want to turn my Xbox on, didn't want to play, didn't want to do anything. And from there on it, it started, you know, and ever since then I've been having problems with this. Um let's see. All right. Where do I go next?
Was
All right.
there any precipitating event that happened before that before you felt apathetic like that?
No, no. It just happened solo. Although uh there is probably a cause, yeah, for sure, that I'm trying to get at. Ever since this happened, ever since I started feeling like this, I've been trying desperately to find answers as to what the hell is causing this. Because never in my life have I felt like that. Have I been, feeling like this, ever since it seems that ever since I've entered adulthood and all that, things have changed and I'm not exactly, the chatterbox that I was back then, as stupid as I was back then. But anyway, all right. So there you know. All right. So I'm not sure how to segue into this. Like what else? Where do I go? It's funny because I was rehearsing and I had everything in mind, but when I have you in front of me now, it's just hard to go. But
Take your
let's start
time.
here. Yeah, yeah. So let's start here. So throughout my whole life, start way back, especially in school era, I've had this problem of I guess of feeling like I didn't belong, I guess. Um I've always made good friends, close friends, but it is often the case that I've always especially when younger, like I felt like sometimes I would be left out or not included, especially like in like conversations, just banter in between people. Like I wouldn't be the person someone would go to, like I guess. And I felt like always like an outcast in a way. Like I've always been kind of alone. Now that was me way back in the past, like especially in school. Uh so there's that. I've always felt like that. but I've always stuck with my one or two pals. I do have friends, very little, the ones that I help close to me, but I've always had trouble with that. All right, so there's that. Now this will tie into something. I promise it will. It will. Um, so there's that. Um, then let's move all the way, man. I'm horrible at this.
No, it's fine. Hold that up for a second. I can hear you. I'm just gonna grab this real quick and come back.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Okay.
So okay, you felt kind of isolated.
Yeah. But this will relate to something. I feel like maybe if I just, man, I'll just tell you the questions right now. All right. So basically, everything that I'm going to tell you is related to uh what I don't know if there's any veracity in this, but I've been scouring the web basically looking for information about the ISTJ in order to see if I can get some insight into what's causing my dejection. And I've been on I think it's on the Wiki Socians page. There's a lot of articles on the ISTJ and all that, which is I believe the ISTJ in the Socionics is ISTP. I got really confused by that.
Yeah, so to be honest, we make it either IST little p, or
Yeah,
it would call it
SLI, right?
sensory logical
Logical.
introvert. But
Yeah,
that's
sensory logic.
that's ISTJ. Sensory logical introvert is ISTJ. Logical sensory introvert is ISTP.
Right. There it is. I was reading at first I got confused. I was reading the IST little j, and I was like, there's a lot of things here that kind of are similar to the ISTJ, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's not going to be good advice for you. You got to
no,
look at the IST little p.
IST little p. Yeah, no, that one hit the nail right in the head. So basically, I was looking for. I've read all the articles, and I got an important bit of, I guess, details, a little bit of insight, and I saw that I guess the ISTJ they get self-esteem issues regarding feelings and all that. Or if they don't I guess I don't know. Apparently there's a need for ISTJs to like love or something. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
that's true.
no, that's true because of the third slot FI. It's an absolute value for ISTJs that they be able to basically be useful to people that are important to them in
Mm-hmm.
ways that those people value.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
it's like I find myself with my friend ISTJ friend Cameron that I'll
Yeah.
often not want to impose on him to help with things, but that he finds it very rewarding when I need help and he's able to provide it. Being an FE
Definitely.
third, it can be a little confusing for me.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So there's the question. That's the first thing. Now, I've also read that I'm not sure if that's true. I've seen that. I think I saw that on Reddit, where apparently ISTJs need to feel wanted, and I'm not sure if that's in anything.
No, that's just also an FI thing.
An FI thing. Okay.
So, like, you need to feel authentically valued by some other person or people that are important to you,
Mhm.
and you need to be authentically valuable to them.
Authentically valuable. Okay, interesting. Okay, all right. So there it is. There's that. And let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this. Let's get right into the juicy stuff. I bet this will be interesting, at least or funny. Maybe you can relate to this too. Maybe you've had an experience similar to this, but all right. So in my job, right, something interesting happened to me. Something interesting happened to me. I guess a couple of months ago it started. So I actually developed feelings for a coworker, and it's not a you know she's not a woman my same age, by the way. She's slightly older, and a woman that already is in a committed relationship, by the way.
Uh-oh.
This is funny, right? Yeah, this is
That's
spicy
not a
right here.
good thing.
Mm-mm. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think it's important to note that my feelings uh, were never meant. I never meant for my feelings to damage my integrity or the integrity of her. And these feelings developed in a way that I like to think was platonic. I never thought of her sexually or anything. And how did this start? Well, I guess it started by just in the dynamics of just like kind of like working together. Although I never interacted with her, she just kind of, I guess, initiated with me. And at first, I never felt anything. I didn't care. It's just that this person, right, um, would at first we obviously she was like kind of like my she would teach me how to basically do my job. Basically, what I do is packaging. Basically,
Okay.
we package uh I guess parts for like armored vehicles for the military. That's what we do.
Okay.
And well, basically, she would teach me and all that. And from there on, we got along, right? And she would come sporadically here and there and like say a few or two jokes. And then um, the reason I caught feelings for her was because it was the accumulation of small details that I guess made me feel special. And it all started with like, let's say, for example, one day she came and she like told me, hey, you know, I was at home, and I kind of like, I kind of thought about you and I remembered that, you're supposed to put a label on this bag and then another label on that. So I had to put like two labels. And she was kind of like, she thought about me because, oh, he might have messed up, you know. I forgot to tell him that. Now it's gonna fuck up the whole thing for him. So it might seem normal, right? It's just whatever. But to me, I took it as normally, but it felt kind of like that moment felt kind of like heartwarming to me because, like, well, at least you kind of thought about me, especially outside of work, which is funny because, yeah, I wouldn't even be thinking of anybody outside of work, So I kind of felt like a little, valued in a way. Although it could be the case that I interpreted wrongly and she just generally meant, oh, you might have fucked up. But nevertheless, I felt a little good there. No feelings yet. But then after that, she'd also do this thing where like, um, if she was leaving for an appointment the other day, like let's say she would not come to work the other day or whatever, due to reasons, she would come to me and kind of tell me that I won't be here tomorrow, you know, so bye. So you can kind of see that those little details would make me feel special, like, oh, you're coming to me to tell me that? Like you feel the need to tell me that, you know? I guess over time, the jokes, the interactions, and those little small things would kind of make you feel good, I guess, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. So it started like that, and then out of nowhere, every time I would go seek her for help on this to teach me this or whatever, butterflies started happening. You know, I could not go to her and keep a straight face. It's like I've always had to keep my composure because I get this incredible urge to laugh, but I'm always trying to look stern as I can. So it's kind of like that weird butterfly feeling. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that ever with a woman ever. Not sure.
um,
Maybe not.
sure. I well,
Well, you're FI polar, aren't
I'm
you?
not
It
very
may be
good
different.
at keeping conscious or remembering instances of my feelings.
Ah, okay.
So
Guessing
yeah,
that's
I mean, it's happened. Like, you know, I remember when Rachel and I first started dating, I was in a state of limerence, as they say, which is very
yeah.
infatuated with her, and this is
Mhm.
before we even met in person, you know. So I get the general feeling of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
okay, so you were feeling butterfly kind of smitten with this person. And so what
yeah.
happened?
Okay. By the way, like I said, it wasn't sexual at all. It was kind of appreciation for like, considering me, basically. You know?
You liked her. You had a crush on her. It,
That okay,
that's
well,
fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and tell me what happened.
okay, but I thought a crush was liking someone based on their looks or something. That's what I
No,
thought what a crush
it's
was.
that it's that stuff where you start seeing the other person as different than everybody else.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So that started happening, and every time we'd interact, yeah, that would happen. It's like I couldn't keep a straight face. So, all right. So what happened after that? Well, let me recall. First of all, after the feelings of euphoria peaked, uh, I guess what happened? What started happening? I don't know what the hell. Huh. I guess it started disengaging. It is the case, apparently, and this is how I act. So if this video does go out there and other STACs, I hope they can relate to this nonsense. But uh when I like someone, the more I get away from them and the more colder I get. But it's not because I don't like them or anything. It's just like anxiety creeps up and all that. And I guess I respect, especially a person that I value, their boundaries so much that I'd rather just stay away to respect them. You know, I don't want to get close, you know?
Yeah,
Although,
you probably in general are worried about that more than you need to be. This is true of Cameron as an ISTJ. I know he's very worried about crossing our boundaries, but it's kind of ridiculous because we we ask so much of him, not on purpose. It's not like we try to be a burden on Cameron. It's
yeah,
just he's good at everything that we're bad
Mm.
at.
Yeah, I understand that too.
And so it's like when we were like snowed in up here, and the power was out and our generator was broken, and I couldn't get the car out of the driveway, and it was going
Oh
on like
man.
2 weeks. Like I called Cameron, I was just like, Cameron, can you bring a generator up here? Can you bring a generator up here? And he came up here. We sent the money to buy the things, obviously, but he drove them up here. He helped get my car dug out. He helped get the generator he brought up here wasn't working when he actually got it here because he couldn't transport it right side up, and he fixed the carburetor and everything. He has so much capital with us that the idea that he would cross our boundaries is ridiculous. I mean, it's not
Right.
impossible, but he's much more worried about it than he needs to be.
It's just that it's kind of hard because the thing is, especially like, well, with you guys, I get it. Like, yeah, that is kind of crazy to think that. But I guess in the realm of, liking someone, especially when you don't know how the other person feels about you, that's very real. You don't want
Well,
to.
now here's the thing, though. When you're talking about a woman who's in a committed relationship already,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I understand that.
you're wise to pull back because
Exactly.
that that's something you don't want to. Even if she's interested, you don't want to go down that road.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's like I never meant. Uh, I never wanted to go down any weird route. You know, at first I thought maybe I can be honest with my feelings without hurting the integrity of her or her loved ones. I thought that could be possible, but I guess maybe not. It's a difficult
Not if
thing.
she's in a committed relationship.
No, no. There is such thing as having even an emotional affair, I guess, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
this is something, yeah, that is bad. But so, all right, going on to the point, right? You only have a limited amount of time. This will tie into everything. Um, so I started detracting and disengaging, and yeah, listen, it was strong. Um, uh, I started disengaging and kind of like basically avoiding her as much as I could. But it seems to me that I thought by avoiding her and keeping my distance, it's all right. But it also seems that, like, damn, when I avoid this person, it also feels like it's not the right thing to do. Like, I don't want to, if she does feel the same way, which I think she did, um, uh, I don't want to hurt her feelings or anything. But I started thinking, John, maybe the only one who's feeling like shit completely is you, because I suspect that when you're already in a committed relationship, it's easier to just blow back, that all that stuff off because you already have someone who values you at home, you have your kids. Me, I don't have any of that, right? And I guess
Right.
for me, I'm the only one who's kind of suffering, really. So I just
Yeah,
kind of,
probably.
yeah. So I just kind of just cut it. And now, it's funny because I guess other ISTJs who probably watch this video and see this can relate to the feelings of jealousy. Man, when someone else would talk to her and make her laugh, to see that she's enjoying herself or someone's making her uh, amuse, right? Basically, like she's basically basically enjoying herself or someone's amusing her, it would make me feel horribly jealous. And at first I thought, oh, these feelings are just normal because I appreciate it and whatever. But then when I started feeling those feelings of jealousy, that's where I said, oh, okay, no, this is something like wild. This is way out there already.
You got it bad for this girl.
Yeah, horrible. And um
But it's like you can't be jealous because she's not your
yeah,
woman.
no, listen. This is awesome. I know the feelings are irrational. And logically, I'm thinking to myself, I'm feeling jealous, but I know she doesn't owe me anything. Absolutely nothing. But still, you feel resent. You can't change that though, right? It's like you feel that. All you have to do is just cope with it. Deal with it.
You are probably asking the wrong person about this particular question here, because the thing is, yes, it's true that sometimes you feel things that you can't justify feeling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, it doesn't happen to me that often.
Nah, that often. Okay, yeah. It's
Like,
no, but it's all right. It's all right.
if it does happen to me, like that I'm feeling something that it's not justified, then it's always like I'm just feeling like everything's shitty, and then but there's not any good reason for that.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's the only comparable example I can come up with. Although, okay, I mean, I also feel jealousy irrationally about Rachel. Like, I think I remember when we first moved in here. There's a lot of strange noises this house makes all the time. Like the heater makes a lot of little noises, and various things make noises. And so I got it in my head that when Rachel went upstairs, there was a secret ghost lover that was having sex with her upstairs.
What? Oh, that's crazy. No, that to me is irrational right there.
I knew it couldn't possibly be, but it didn't change the fact that I'd be in bed downstairs, I'd be thinking about it. And I'd be like, she's up to no good up there with a ghost.
Who's been sleeping in my bed, huh? Man. All right. So there's that. I'd like to think I have very strong emotional control. I don't know if that's a thing with ISTJs. We feel deeply and can manage to just keep that in there, man. It leaks out. It leaks out.
No, I think you're right. I think that ISTJs are very good at not displaying their emotions. I think in general, STJs are pretty good at not displaying a lot of emotions. But I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I'm not sure.
It's not.
I mean, it might be depending on like,
on the circumstances, maybe.
Yeah, depending on the circumstances, sometimes it might be but good to not be emotionally displaying because that's not going to play well with other people. Sometimes though, it might be you're holding stuff in that you should be experiencing more fully. I'm hesitant to give an answer to that question because I just don't feel like I understand F's that well.
Don't worry about that. I'm not here for like. I'm just telling you my personal and going into detail just to like.
Sure.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Basically, okay. So that happened, right? And now I'm getting over this. By the way, I want to tell you that this is not the first time this happens, by the way. This actually happened at my last job. And it was also an older woman. And I swear, man, I swear, listen, I am not starting this. They come to me, okay? And this feeling happens. Listen, I'm not complaining about older women. That's cool. But hey, why do you come and fly so close to the sun? Like, I swear to God, stop doing that. It's like,
Okay.
hey, you're older, you're in a relationship already with people, and then you clearly show signs that you kind of like me or something, and then you just pull away, and then the only one who ends up suffering is me in the end, like a dumbass.
Okay. Well,
But
it sounds to me like you need a girlfriend.
yeah, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's a very that's why I'm getting to that. All right, so there's that, right? And so now I've detracted. I'm doing well with like not feeling that way, basically. Now I've gotten over that, like euphoria and that feeling, but it seems like the irrational jealousy is still present. I don't know how to describe that, but it feels like, have you ever felt sudden fear? Like your heart just kind of plummets down, like a scary
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
Jealousy is
yeah.
kind of like that.
I
It's
know
kind of
that
like
feeling.
that. It just hits you and you feel like shit for like a moment. Well, it's like that. But yeah, everything's going good. So why did I explain all that in my past and this whole love ordeal weird bullshit? By the way, I hope I'm not making you feel uncomfortable. This is making me feel super
No, it
uncomfortable.
doesn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. But hold that thought while I get another beverage.
Oh, go ahead.
Ow. You all right?
Just caved in my skull.
Ooh, how'd that happen?
Just banged my head on the. I was reaching over to get a soda from the box, and when I went up, I banged my head into the corner of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Not that hard, so I'm okay. Okay. My head injury notwithstanding,
Okay, good,
um,
good.
go ahead with your tale.
All right. Yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah. Uh yeah. Good to know that you're not uncomfortable because it's making me obviously speaking about this stuff is so weird because it's like I'm guessing, well, I think it's not ordinary, but I guess older people liking younger people and having crushes on them, I believe it's a normal thing. I don't want to think it's weird. I don't think
Well,
it's
you
weird.
know, my wife is 13 years younger than me currently.
All right. I don't see that as a bad thing necessarily.
I'm 51. She's 38.
Ah, it's no issue. It's just me. Or rather, maybe it's not that. It's just the fact that I'm
I,
opening up like yeah.
the bottom line is two individuals who deal with each other in the world. You know, they're not representatives of their demographic groups.
Right. Yeah. You know, I was watching one of your videos and something did stuck out to me that was pretty interesting. And you said that people are not possessive of other people, but they're possessive of the relationships they have with other people. I thought that stuck out. That was pretty interesting. You said that. One of your videos. I don't remember where, but
I believe I did, but I don't remember saying it.
yeah, you did. You did. Thought that was insightful. Okay, so that happened. So why did I explain all that goofy shit that I'm going through? Because I don't know if it's true about that whole. Maybe my whole issue is that my FI is getting shit on. The need to feel wanted because you said it was an FI thing. And I felt this throughout my whole life. With the thing I was talking to you about being young and feeling kind of like an outcast, I did have friends, but it feels like in the major group, I couldn't just like blend in. I'd feel bad if like people wouldn't come to me, to engage in banter and have fun. Felt like I was always kind of like, over here. I wonder if all that, all those feelings I've had through life, and that, which by the way, are exacerbated when it comes to women, clearly, I wonder if there's like a connecting thread between all this. And
Yeah, it's polar.
FE polar. Interesting.
Because you don't feel like you can read other people very well. You worry about misreading them. That's why you're so worried about not crossing people's boundaries, is because your experience has taught you that you're missing some signals or cues from people some of the time. And that's implicit to being FE polar. The fact is, you fit in better than you think you do. And it's just that people don't generally make the effort necessarily, right? Like,
To make it
I
known.
like Cameron a lot. Cameron and I are great friends. And yet I don't go out of my way to call him very much. I also don't call my daughter very much. But I still love the shit out of her, It's like I couldn't love anybody any more than I love Delilah, but I rarely call her. When we do call and talk to each other, our conversations are often very businesslike, very quick and to the point. We're both FI polar.
I have that same thing. Yeah.
So, it's like understanding that the lack of effort on the part of other people does not reflect the importance of you to them is something that you're going to have trouble getting with FI3 and FE7. Because the way that you show other people that they're important to you is by going to them and spending more time with them and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Maybe helping them. The thing is, that's because you're an SI-DOM TE tool. You're going to be knowing by experiencing. But the bottom line about all of this stuff is you just need a girlfriend.
There it is. And, I've always had a creeping, like a suspicion that this was the case. Man, maybe I'm just lonely as fuck, but it's just, I just don't know if it's true,
It's true. You need a girlfriend.
And I guess that's the reason why I have, I can't interface with people properly as of now. I'm withdrawing from my friends. I don't want to engage with them too much. I don't want to talk too much with people. I don't feel good about myself, I have this feeling when I talk to people, when I try to engage with them, with my mom, whatever, behind everything I say, every joke, I have this lingering feeling it's like worry, like anxiety or whatever. I don't know what the hell, which I think is just my sense of worth. That's what I'm feeling. And it's keeping me from interfacing with people properly. It's literally fucking me up. It's by the way, I don't want to make anybody worry, or anything. I'm fine. I can deal with this. It's something that I have to cope with.
Well, I
It
mean,
gets annoying.
I think choosing to talk to me about it is a good decision. Is taking some kind of action to talk it out and try to understand it better.
I was just kind of hoping if I could get some insight relating to type, but you just kind of, you just like, it didn't even like, you didn't even resort to that kind of really. You're just like, man, you just need a partner. At the end of the day.
It's the bottom line. I think
Really.
it's for Enneagram. If you want to talk about typological stuff, Enneagram talks about there being 3 sexual variants. One of them is called sexual, one of them is called social, and one of them is called self-preserving. And I interpret that to mean people in life have a basic orientation to relationships. Either they don't really want to be tied down to another person. No, they want to be keep their own shit, not share finances, have a lot of boundaries even within a relationship. That's self-preserving. Then there's sexual, which is you think of yourself basically as made to be part of a 2-person pair. And then there's social. Even if you're in a relationship, you think it's so that you can go be part of a larger group, larger family group or something like that. It sounds to me like you're 2, so sexual, which means you're not going to really be happy in life if that's the case, except when you're in a long-term, healthy long-term relationship.
What's weird is that, and I guess this is important, I think I should let this know. This is a weird thing, but ever since I was young, like probably like middle school, no, actually way before that, it's often the case that I've always had crushes on girls and all that. And I've always had fantasies of having like a good friend, but that good friend was a girl, a woman that would just come to
Have
me
sex
and be
with
nice to
you.
me.
Let's call it
Whoa,
girlfriend.
whoa, 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 whoa. Not exactly like that. I don't look. It's not that I don't
There's
think of
nothing
that.
wrong with that. That's what
No, I know. There's
do.
no. Listen. I know there's nothing wrong with that, of course, but it's not. It's not the primary thing. It's secondary. Well, that'll happen naturally, of course, but what I wanted more is like, I guess the FI, a sense to it,
You want
delve
somebody
into
who
that
loves you.
emotional. Yeah, I
You want
guess.
somebody who loves you that you also love back.
Yeah.
That is standard, par for the course operating procedure for lots of human beings, including me. And the thing is, remember this, it took me until I was 47 years old to get into the right relationship. I had a bunch of failed relationships prior to this one that were bad in the same way that being single was bad, but just different. So it's hard to find love, When you do, when you're with exactly the right person, it's very easy. Things go smoothly. You don't have problems. You have the same taste in things. You're on the same page. Everybody's happy.
I guess I'm kind of, I mean, again, what happened with that other woman, right? Right now I'm getting over it, but I still do feel a need to like do some action to be nice towards her, because it is the case that even if the feelings dissipate, which by the way is disappointing every time that happens, very disappointing.
You,
That to
you
know
need to
that,
get a crush on somebody who's single.
the thing is that the woman who approached me and evoked those feelings are older women. That's not my fault.
Look, they aren't causing you to get a crush on them by being nice to you. Okay, you have a crush on them maybe because they're being nice, but that's not. You can't blame them for that.
It's just the thing is, it's like, well, I'm not blaming it. Well, it sounds like yeah, okay, I'm blaming, but first of all, right? I say I don't want to say it's my fault because the feelings happen out of nowhere. You know, I didn't care about this person. They just came out of nowhere. I don't have control over that.
Yeah, look, okay, you don't exactly have control over your feelings, but
Right.
you do have the ability to anticipate that if you're spending a lot of time with a woman, you're gonna probably start to like her if she's cool, you know. So what you want to do is spend a lot of time with a single woman.
Well, the thing is I don't exactly spend time. I don't exactly go to women. I am not the initiator, which, by the way, I lived a huge portion of my life. You know, in an ISTJ video, you said that ISTJs have problems with like the dominant paradigms, like in society, like whatever. And I'm guessing the gender roles, you know, that thing about the man should initiate, he should have the courage and always go to women and be bullheaded and all that. The thing is, listen, I'm not saying that I don't have courage when it comes to going to a woman, right? It's just that whenever okay, let's say I don't like this girl. I think she's pretty. I feel like whenever I have to take charge, it leaves me exhausted and it feels like I'm wasting time for some reason. It's not if only if I know that I really like her, then I can build up the courage, which is still hard to do that. But it still leaves me like
Look,
exhausted.
all I have to say about that is I was absolutely terrified of women for much of my life in terms of that same thing. So it, you know, eventually things changed, but it wasn't till like after my second marriage that changed really.
Right.
So it's like for people who are not conscious SE, that whole thing can be very challenging.
Right. Which is what I was thinking. I was also thinking, well, you know, that's why I kind of, like you said, well, do you, okay, no, actually, never mind. You said that the dual for the ISTJ would be an ENFP and an ESFP. And I'm guessing there, when you meet, you know, at least your ideal type that you should match with, I'm guessing those issues aren't so glaring because the extrovert introvert dynamic.
Because you get an ESFP, you don't have to worry about being the initiator.
Yeah.
You know, ESFPs are also, they don't care about FE shit. They countervalue it. So if you aren't reading the room or something, they're not going to be subtle in their cues. They're not going to judge you for that. They're going to think that stuff doesn't matter anyway.
Okay.
And they're going to be active in including you, you know.
Right. Perfect.
And you're gonna feel important in the way that they interact with you.
Right. You know, I'm not sure what this person's type is, but I had a feeling that she could be like an ESFP. I'm not really sure, but she seems
that would
like
explain
one.
why you have a crush on her.
Yeah. It's same with the other woman. they kind of initiated first. They just went back there and talked to me and all that, and then just little stuff like that that make you feel special over all. But anyway,
I know. Well, when girls are nice to you and you're single, it's easy to
Well,
fall in love.
the thing is, I don't fall in love with like just any girl. Like I've had girls come up to me and be like that, and I don't feel anything, but I do talk to them, and I don't want to make them feel bad. And it's often the case that I want to make sure that they're like valued in a way and not felt bad. Like I want to keep them beside me. I don't want you away or against, but I'll make sure you don't feel bad or anything or whatever. But I know for a fact, when I like that, that's different. When I like someone, that's different. It happens gradually and out of nowhere. Like at first, it's like, where the fuck did that originate from? Which is creepy because this woman that I was talking about, when I would wake up and feel excited to go to work, all right, I like my job, and all right, let's get this day rolling. And behind that thought, I would have her like in the back. But that was way before I got feelings for her. So it's so weird how subconsciously I was looking forward to her. That's just so strange.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. But
yeah. Here, let me do the following thing here. I'm gonna ask Rachel to come over here, and I want her to share whatever thoughts she has about this, and or for you to, if you have a chance to ask a girl about anything you want to ask a girl about. Basically, I want to go smoke a cigarette. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
And Rachel will fill in with her capable hands.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Rachel. I've seen you on a couple of YouTube videos.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Um.
So you've been listening, I guess, eavesdropping.
Well, yeah, I have been in the room.
Well, what do you think? Interesting, huh? I guess.
Those kind of like, I know I've had like, I know where you're coming from. And it's extremely frustrating when you're single and the person is not single, and there might be chemistry there, but it's like,
yeah,
you can't like act on it. Like
I know it's impossible, but I think what tends to hurt me is the chance to not express, at the very least, fully, because I wish I could express what I feel and that's it. We don't have to be close. We can stay like this because, like I said, I don't want to hurt the integrity of you or your loved ones. I don't want that. That's horrible. That's horrible. Absolutely horrible. But I want a chance to like express that. God damn, I just freaking like you so much, And in a work environment, since it's formal, it's so hard for me to do that. It's impossible because I also don't want other people to see that I have a certain bias with this person. Although other people can see it, though, which is funny because they kind of always poke fun at that fact. Like, like let's say I go to her or she comes to me, and then you see some other guy, like saying, you too, it always kind of like, it's funny. I guess other people know that there's something there and they poke fun of it. Or maybe they're just joking about it, and maybe they don't actually know that there's actually something going on. But there's like two of my coworkers who always like do that, And by the way, I don't know if she felt the same way. the only way I can confirm this is because she would also like come to me and for no reason just burst out laughing and then change that like attitude real quick and then become serious. It's like that weird butterfly thing and laughing thing where it's like you just can't. Yeah.
Kind of flirty. Like she's kind of blurring the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
That can mess with a person's emotions.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to you.
Well,
because
it's the thing is it's I always say this, you know, I do suffer, but my feelings are mine and mine alone to bear. That's fine. But you kind of wish you could express that, you know?
I know, but that is like so freaking, that is like playing with fire. Like actually like telling her like, hey, I like you. That could, it just like
I already tried to tell her, but when I do, what happens is that whatever I had rehearsed in my mind, details get changed automatically, and I try to be direct by being indirect. You know, you're also unsure. Okay, man, if I be vulnerable and I fuck it up, but I also have this thing where like I take the courage to say that, but it's only when it's like too little, too late, as well. You know, and maybe it's good in this scenario. Maybe it's good to not say things in the state of euphoria, because then maybe bad things can happen.
It could just, and that's, there's a huge chance of it getting around the office too. You know, like there's a chance that she might not be quiet about this thing, and then it gets around the office, and then like if people knowing that she's married, like, or
there's a huge potential for like gossip and all that too. But don't worry, that with me, that won't happen. I did tell her this, that I don't remember exactly what I told her, but like I did tell her that I hope that me being, because I was kind of avoiding her, and it was kind of obvious, you know, where I wouldn't go to her for like help regarding something, a task at work. You know, I did ask her, do you feel bad or anything because I avoid? And she's like, no, it's all right. And I did tell her at the end that, you know, just being away from her is a way of being responsible with my own feelings. And I just said that. And I think that's the best thing I could have ended it with.
Yeah, I do too.
We still do get along though. Like there's nothing bad with that. And I do feel, despite all this, I always still feel like doing something, at least to let her know that I still care. Even if I don't have even if the feelings, I've buried them and they're gone, they're dead, I still feel a need to care, despite all that, you know?
Man.
I think Rachel's better at this than I am.
I guess it's making you feel really bad, I guess.
Me? No, I
like you're feeling bad. No, like I feel like Rachel's kind of like feeling whatever it is that's getting it or whatever.
I mean, she's empathizing with you.
Oh yeah. Which I suck at, by the way.
Did it not feel that way when I was talking to you?
Well, I don't know. You did it.
I don't think I was empathizing with you nearly as well as Rachel is, which is why I said I think she's doing a better job of this than me.
You were more kind of confounded or perplexed, it seemed. Like, or maybe like, wow, that's interesting.
Well, I think I just thought it was fairly straightforward. Like, you need a girlfriend,
and that's honestly probably the best answer. And it's obviously easier said than done, but
So is it the case that literally just needing a relationship could By the way, I'm well aware that a relationship can also be a source of one's greatest, uh, it's not necessarily the case that it can make me feel better. It could also go the other way. I'm well aware of that. I'm not aware that that's like the end all be all, but I just want to at least have a definite answer that maybe that's what can fix all the bullshit that's happening with me, like
Yeah.
regarding feelings,
It
my
is.
self-esteem, everything. It's tanked, like I said to Eric, I told him that it's like I'm withdrawing from my friends. Has been happening for a while. By the way, 23 years old, and I've never been in a relationship at all. So that's quite a long time. And I'm guessing that issue has been compounding and has been made worse now. It is
Yeah.
the case that I often sit in my room and I feel this weird thing where I look outside of my blinds, and as the sun goes down, I feel like I'm missing out on something, like I'm wasting myself. What is it? It's a feeling of desperation. It's so strange, and I just
Well,
go about life, and it's hard. It's difficult.
it could be that you're finding that you want to share your life with someone. Like, it's gotten to the point where you have done a lot of things for yourself, but it's like almost time to take it to the next level. Like, you've been very independent, and I'm sure you know yourself pretty well by now. So it's like the next step would be sharing that with another person.
It is the case that I was an insecure little shit, but now I'm kind of fine with being perfectly content with who I am. Definitely, in that sense, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do find it often that I do sit in bed and I wish again, it's that weird thing. Like I was reading in the socionics page, ISTJs and that weird thing to love and be loved. You know, like I do wake up and do all the things I do, but they feel kind of meaningless. I feel like if I did have someone, I would get even more energy and probably move mountains after that,
Yeah.
and do
I think
everything.
you're right. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're totally right. And also, like, when you come into situations where an older woman finds themselves attracted to you and maybe flirts with you, you'll already have someone, so it's not even going to like come into your mind. Like, you'll probably have like blinders on and be like, oh, I already have a girlfriend. Like, you won't even notice the person flirting with you.
No,
You
no,
might
no.
notice.
Of course, and I would even in that position I would detract because I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty good at just not giving a fuck after that. I can do that. And I'm pretty sure that if I were in a relationship, well, obviously I wouldn't feel the need to like, well, feelings happen out of nowhere, man. You don't have control over that. That I know. But I'm pretty sure that if I was satisfied in a relationship, then I wouldn't feel any of that because I'm already stable. I got what I got.
Right.
But
Right.
again, I'm not saying that's to say that feelings are a complicated thing, and that kind of scares me that you can develop feelings while being in a relationship. That's some other weird territory, but that's not the topic of this. So we're gonna go. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy, but
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks,
chatting
Michael.
with me.
Yeah. You helped. You helped a lot, by the way. Right at the
Oh,
end
I'm
there.
glad.
But
I'm
thank you for
glad.
empathizing. Yeah. Take care,
Yeah,
by
no,
the way.
of course.
Thank you.
You too.
But yeah,
Okay.
I
So
think
you
that,
think we got
that's
it?
it. I got my answer, and look, I already got my answer from you. I'm gonna get whatever it is I got from the socionics page as well, and kind of implement that to help, with this what I'm feeling. And yeah, thank you.
It just helps to be able to talk something out with a person listening responsibly,
Yeah,
So
thank you a lot, because
of course, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for your business.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I won't basically delay you anymore. I hope you have a good day. And
You too. You too. Are you comfortable with me publishing this, or you want me to share it with you privately?
Absolutely. My wish, if there's other ISTJs out there, man, that are like going through the
I think
same.
there's a lot of guys, not just ISTJs. A lot of guys are gonna identify with this.
I don't want them to feel like I just want them to relate that it's. There's still hope at the end of the tunnel. Don't feel bad.
I appreciate it. I think people will too. So, all right. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.